We're on.
Are we on? We're on. Okay, so little craziness there for a minute. Always. It's always a crazy
2
time.
minutes before we're supposed to go on, something's glitching.
Something's glitching. Something's not going on. Anyways, we're streaming live on everything right now, right?
Yes.
So I love it. So I'm super excited. Aren't you excited?
I am. And
Even
now
though
we can finally go live also on the Harper Antique.
Yes, we are.
Antique District. So
yes, we are. I'm excited
if
about
any of our
that.
stores go live now, they can stream it to that page as well.
Exactly. Well, welcome to TWL. And tonight we have, super excited because we have a very popular, very local, cool band. The MUGGS is going to be joining us. Danny and Tony Muggs from the MUGGS is going to be joining us. And if you guys have been a watcher of TWL for a couple of years, you will have seen Tony Muggs on the show before. So I'm excited about that.
Me too.
So anyways, you may see Nikki again, you may not, but you will hear Nikki. We got to make room for the rock stars. Yes, you do. I love that. I love that. Exciting. Yeah, you do get to. Yeah. Nameless, faceless comments, right? Now, make sure everybody jumps over to the Time Warp page and follows us on the Time Warp page as well, because if you guys want to send any questions to Tony or Danny Muggs, that's how we're going to see them.
And I'll be watching too. That's another issue. I'll be off camera so I can report questions and comments. And
so anyways, I'm super excited. So you know what, Nikki, I wish you could sit with us, but
no,
oh look, show up.
Say hi and to show off this cool handful of CDs.
I had some, but I think I left them sitting on my
desk. You saw them somewhere, yeah. Well, yeah, you had to run and tweak the technology.
Yes.
That's true. I'll just wave things from behind.
The MUGGS.
Versions of
look at this.
Here.
Versions of media, all sorts. And then autobiography. And then, of course, the autobiography of Tony Muggs and the MUGGS. And you can buy the records here. You're going to be able to buy CDs here, too, because I'm going to pick them up from him. Anyway, so Nikki's going to step out. And, oh, look. Well, Scott Randall's watching. Right. I love that. Hi, Scott. Tony. Danny, come on in. Now, we all know these guys. Have a seat. Tony, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Danny, you have not been here before. I'm super excited. Are we good? You can see us?
Beautiful.
Awesome. So, Tony, you've been on the show before, long time ago. And Danny, this is your first time. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah. Thank you for
I know
having
it's
us.
been a busy year for you guys. Last year was a busy year for you guys.
Yeah.
I understand you opened for somebody for Blue Oyster Cult?
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
At the Royal Oak Music Theater. It was like we did a bunch of cool festivals over the summer. You know, we were happy with this was a good year. End up with the festival, and then we got a call about you guys want to open up for Blue Oyster Cult at the Royal Oak Theater. Like, wow, that's a cherry on top to ass kicking year that we've already had.
No kidding.
Yeah, shout out to the DIY festival that we did. That was fun. And
the DIY festival,
in
Ferndale,
Michigan. It's always fun. And Ferndale, all the Metro Detroit is for many years.
Did you guys listen to them growing up? Or you like
Blue Oyster Cult?
Yes. I'm particularly hugely influenced by blues rock, where rock and roll became, riffy and bluesy. Blue Oyster Cult was always in that fray, especially with a song like Godzilla.
It's a great song.
That's out of the Black Sabbath school of thought,
Oh, I love
I got hip to Cities on Flame.
Oh, yeah.
That's my jam these days.
Is this all Blue Oyster Cult?
Yeah.
Isn't that awful? I don't even know.
Oh, that's okay.
And I probably know the song. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. If you knew, if you heard,
you
know them.
But it's riff rock at its best.
Yeah. That is awesome. Now, were you guys able to meet them?
Unfortunately,
I know sometimes you don't when you open.
No, it wasn't, and they were right across the hall from us, and we're not the type of guys that just go
just
across the hall and say hi.
We've opened up for like Mississippi All Star, North of Mississippi All Stars, and Robin Trower, and it's usually this case. Like they, for whatever reason, they're too busy, and they just can't meet with us, and
right.
So we never meet them.
You never get to meet them.
But that's
often,
okay,
unless you pass each other in the hallway.
Exactly.
It's a privilege to open up for them.
One of the bands I saw in your sheet, Jason gave me, of all unbelievable bands you've been able to play with. I mean, there's just too many here to even talk about, but just geeking out for a second.
Roberto's a big music fan.
I am the biggest. I might be. I'll go up against anybody on this planet. I might be the biggest Glenn Hughes fan on the planet.
Wow.
What was that experience like? I mean, you're playing. You're opening for a guy who was in the.
I forgot about Glenn Hughes.
One of the greatest lineups of rock history of all time in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Is there any stories there about you gigging with him? Or?
Not particularly a story, because I would have loved to have met him. What intrigued me about him was how awesome his voice sounded. Because, you know, when you're seeing him coming around backstage, you know, as an older dude, like, wow, there's Glenn Hughes right there. And you assume, you know, sometimes you play with these older bands, you know, their voices aren't necessarily there, you know, but Glenn Hughes just came up and he sang so fantastically. I was like, wow, his voice is just as good. You know, I'm already feeling my voice just, you know, the older I get, you know, just how rock and roll happens.
Well, but they must have liked you, because I'm sure they listen to, like, when they have somebody who opens for them, I'm sure they listen to you guys first.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Really? I don't know how that works.
Bluish?
No, that's not the case. Unfortunately,
is it promoters that set it up and stuff like that?
You know,
you would like that in a perfect, fair, and just world, yes, but no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and ultimately, the cool thing about the Mugs is because of our like 70s blues rock type of sound.
You fit
so
right
when a Blue Oyster Cult comes through, or when Mountain comes through, and they're looking for an opener, we've been so lucky to get these calls. You know,
that is awesome.
Like, all right, the Mugs would work out with these guys. You know, that's how we, you know, get these things.
Well, you know, they're standing
so
back there
thankful
watching.
for that.
They have to. I would.
Man, it's all because of Danny's songwriting. You know,
I was gonna say, because one of the songs I love, and you wrote it. I know that. So let's go back, because the Mugs have been around a while.
25 years.
25 years.
Oh,
quarter century to make it sound even
I just
older.
turned 23.
You just turned 23?
Yeah.
Well, I am 25, so that fits. No. We just, you know, have had a hard life. No.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of gigs, Scott Randall says, Tony, you guys got to play the new Rock and Brews.
The new Kiss Bar in Royal Oak.
Oh.
So
Hi, Scott, by the way. And we're in.
planning for you guys.
Absolutely.
I know.
Anything for screaming Scott.
So what brought you? Because I know the Mugs is not your real last names, but it's, or is it? Or is it? It might be. But how did the Mugs come up? Well, what made you decide on the Mugs?
So try to make a long story short, I worked, I was a bartender at a bar called the Caju Cafe.
No,
and it was this running joke about.
Didn't you play it last year?
Yes. Oh, it's perennially. We play there all
on
the
January
time.
3rd.
It's home
Awesome.
to us. We recorded our live record.
And everybody here knows the Caju Cafe. You know, even the people watching from California and all over the place, you've all heard of the Caju Cafe.
Yeah,
nice.
Yes. I know.
There'll be another one.
Our dear friends, Rhonda Voss and Paul Mazzaraca owned it, and then they passed it. They sold it to another dear friend, John Rutherford, who owns it now. And John Rutherford was one of the members of Bob Seger's band. He was he's the horn player in one of the in Bob Seger's band. So it's been home base. It's all in the family. For Danny and I used to work there as teenagers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how far back we go.
Oh, that is cool. So the Mugs.
So there was this term going around the Mugs. It's like, you know, if you see a girl that you found attractive, it's like, I'd like to get all up in that mug. So it's just like a running joke. It's like, you know, see a good plate of food, like, oh man, that mug looks good right there. So, you know, that vernacular found its way to me and Tone. And, you know, when we started playing with Matt Rost, our drummer, we were trying to come up with a name, you know, brand new band. We had no name. You know, we came up with some terrible ideas. And just because of this whole thing, Matt's like, you know what? Let's call ourselves the Mugs. And I thought to myself, not bad, MUGS, but it's just the Mugs. We sound like the coffee cups.
Yeah, because when at practices, I would, you know, Danny and I were steeped in the vernacular of Mugs. And I would say, like, if I wanted Danny to pass the tuner to me, I'd say, hey, pass me that mug.
Are we a fan sound?
No.
Oh, okay.
Matt Rost was like inundated with like mug this and mug that. So he one day he came down and said, "Let's call ourselves the Mugs," and Danny added the extra G
for gravitas.
But you know what though? It's nice.
I'm like, you know what? 2 G's. This is gonna work.
So I noticed some of your stuff says the Mugs Detroit. Is Detroit part of your name, or is it just the Mugs?
It's just the Mugs.
Just the Mugs. Okay.
We're proud to represent
Detroit. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just kind of
so do you remember what your first hit was, or your first because I know in 2006 2007 Dodge Charger Online licensed some of your songs. He sent us this great little bio. All my future guests, give me one of these. No.
Don't ever ready to,
but gonna need my help rolling on the B-sides.
Rolling B-side blues and gonna need my help. You know, Danny's been writing hits since the
Did you write these
song? Like
yeah.
I mean, like for
I mean, they're
first
not
album
hits.
They're blues rock hits. You know,
right?
Yeah,
that's
they're
what
jams.
I mean.
They're like songs that you can get behind.
Exactly.
And then you can. They have meat on the bone, and I don't know. It just
to me, when they have meat on the bone and you can get behind it, then it's a hit. Is it a national hit? Maybe not, but it's still a hit to me.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
how. That's
Do you know
how
what I
it shakes
mean?
out to us. Songs we believe in, you know, and that's why they've lasted.
Exactly.
You know, I wrote those 2 songs you just mentioned 25 years ago, and we're still playing them live because they're a blast to play, and they're so much fun, and they're indicative of how we'd like to sound.
They're some of our most popular songs to this day because sometimes when you get lucky in the songwriting process, these are classic, timeless songs.
Right.
You know, I can't explain it other than that. You know, they're just timeless. You could hear the song 100 years from now. You can get behind it because it sounds like it's just.
Are you kidding me? Look at this. Isn't this awful?
Caller.
And it's a spam risk.
Yeah. Hello.
No, not on our cast.
And I usually turn my phone off. I apologize, you guys.
Doesn't read dated in any way.
None whatsoever.
Like I said, like I was running errands.
Is there an Ivana Tinkle here?
Right? I know.
Ivana Tinkle?
That's hilarious. I love that.
I had the Spotify going all day.
She had it walking into the store today. She had it.
My cup holder, and it was just on like random plays, so I didn't know what was from what album or which was newer songs, which were older songs, and they were just going, and I was just grooving to it all day, and I didn't definitely get the sense of like, oh, this must be their older stuff, you know, like it was all just cool.
Thank you.
So before we go any further, and we're going to talk about a American Idol spinoff that you guys were part of, but let's go to the first video. This is an eye for an eye to an eye, and I got to tell you guys, I love this song.
Thank you so much.
So can we go to this video just to get an idea of what they sound like? If you haven't heard of them. So that is Eye to an Eye. And if you haven't seen it, you can go, if you haven't seen it or heard it, well, you know what? You need to go on to Spotify because you guys have a pretty good size Spotify. Yes, what are you running about how many people?
Well, it averages, like right now, I think we're at 35 strong, 35,000 monthly listeners.
Monthly listeners.
It spikes. I've learned this about Spotify. Like you can, in the summer, this past summer, we were spiked to 75.
Yeah, because they're blaring it outside when you can be outside.
And who knows what hipster playlist we were on?
Right, you never know.
And it spikes.
Yeah.
The most, I don't know, I'm gonna call it most interesting song that is on our discography, Blues for Mephistopheles.
Oh, really?
is our best selling
on Spotify
streaming song for
which
the
is
last
a bizarre slow blues type of thing, one that I
It crawls.
barely made the record to me. I just wanted to hear it, and all of a sudden it turned into a thing.
So do you think somebody
someone's
may have
listening
put it
to
on his playlist or something?
It
or
must
they-
be.
Yeah.
You know, and I tried to investigate it, and I came up with nothing.
Yeah.
And it was it's always you know, a noodle scratcher. How are we? But we'll take it.
Oh, absolutely. You know,
I
absolutely.
do like how Spotify though it'll learn like you're listening.
Get
what you
closer
like
to
and what you
him to
don't. So if
make
you-
sure we
if
can hear you.
Click it and tell it like, yeah, I like that song. Give me more of that. It's pretty good at recommending like you might like this station, and they'll filter in some new shit for you that like, oh well, I didn't know that sounded similar.
Yeah,
but it all fits together.
The
so,
algorithms
like,
are pretty
helpful.
elegant. It's enhanced my life. I know it's not so popular these days because of the owner and what he's investing in. However, it's the cost of doing business, and the algorithm is pretty good. I've discovered so many bands that I never knew about that have like made my life wonderful. You know,
that's what technology is helpful with, where it learns new things to show you based on what you're currently enjoying. That might not be as quote mainstream, but I mean, if it's gonna help you discover,
and
there's
even,
nothing better than discovering new music.
Even the older
hearing
bands,
a song you never heard before,
Right?
You're like, wow, who's this band?
Absolutely.
Even bands from the 60s and 70s that I'm still discovering. It's endless.
Oh yeah,
and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I was around in the 70s, and there's a bunch of them I like. Like America is one of my favorite.
Oh, man.
Oh,
You
man, I
know.
love
Oh, to get tone
Yeah.
started on America.
Oh,
I love
him too,
America.
Don't
but
get me started on
Yeah.
America.
he's gonna write in 3 records from now. He's gonna write a whole tribute to America. The band.
That's well, it deserves it. Even a few Toto songs you can throw in. I like.
Amen.
But so I'm a product of the 70s. So there was an American Idol spinoff called The Next Great American Band, and you guys were a part of that. So how did that go? And I know that the it didn't last. The show didn't last.
No, it was a
Unfortunately.
1-season wonder.
But you guys were flown out to LA.
Yes.
And so what did you think of the experience? Is it as crazy as we think sitting at home watching these things?
Crazier.
Is it crazier?
Crazier because you know, all the machinations that go on behind the scenes, and just, you know, cameras everywhere, and you know, just
no freedom.
People placing you, and you know, problems with my amplifier because my amp was too loud, and they just had to turn it down to where it was practically off. And like my amp is just off now.
I'll never forget this. So we're we're in Hollywood, and we're on the sound stage, and we're trying to get a sound, and it's our time to go, and it's our time to be filmed, and they're having a problem with Danny's amp, and like, turn it down, like, and so Danny turns to like, and he's looking up at the booth, like 20 yards away, and he says, "If I turn it anymore, it'll be off." That's how.
And I actually did too. Like, all right,
ridiculous.
here's me now, and here's one notch over.
Wow.
Just that
That's
much.
How quiet we had.
I know. So
like,
it was
talk about
because they wanted to
sucking
pump
the
it all
life
through
out
the
of rock and
monitors
roll,
and
yeah.
get
Wait,
you know, the
is
sound
this
perfect.
on?
We were the only rock band on the show.
Oh, the rest were all like
Well, there was
acapellas or different things.
Light of Doom. Who were the kids? Light of Doom were a rock band. They were like a heavy metal.
Yeah, but
so they got to play, but they, you know, they got to play a little.
Hence the one
loud.
season.
Reality TV.
Hence the one season. Dealing with bands was harder than dealing with the solo artist, because you can they can control the sound by having the same band behind each solo artist, as opposed to
a full band.
A full band that you have
up.
to deal with every single person from that band. So you could see where
they were
show
lazy.
would fail. They were lazy.
Yeah, and you know, and our audition was the pilot show. We didn't know it when we got our second audition was in Lake Las Vegas, and we played Slow Curve off of our second album, and we didn't know it was going to be the pilot show, but we were having problems with my sound because they didn't get me what I asked for, which is a Fender Rhodes piano bass.
So you couldn't bring your own. Like you had to use what they have. Okay.
They got me a Roland piano, weighted keys, great, but with all these options of all these sounds, and it didn't have a Fender Rhodes sound, which is like you can dial in bass sound to a Fender Rhodes piano quite easily, but it didn't have that. So you know, we're up against the clock. There's 6 minutes to showtime, and
The judges are all sitting there waiting with their
6
cue,
minutes.
doing their hair.
And Danny, like in this, and my sound guy doesn't have a clue, and so Danny comes over, and we're just hitting. He's controlling the buttons, and I'm like boom, boom, like doesn't sound like bass. Boom,
how about
boom.
this one, Tone?
Yeah.
And how about this one?
Like,
at 6 minutes to showtime.
We're past 6 minutes. Like
just trying to get a basic.
We should have been
stressful.
disqualified. Yeah, oh, it's so stressful. But again, it was just to show that, you know, maybe it's just
right.
You know, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it looked that way.
Do they offer any kind of post-production cleanup, or if you hit a bum note or anything like that? Do they offer any cleanup like that? Dubbing or
editing? They actually edited. You know, they had to edit our 3-minute performance down to a fashionable TV 30 seconds.
And they can multi-track it after the fact. Can they mix it after? Or is it one?
I don't know. They did mix it. They did mix it like say. It wasn't like a live sound coming out. They had control of all the sound. So ultimately, and you know, I sang a couple of bum notes. It was 100 degrees in the desert that we did this thing. So you know, however I sang, they kept the 5 good notes that I sang. And just had us begin and but the judges loved it. So we put on, you know, we were one of the few rock bands on the show, and that's what got us onto the actual show. Because
I actually mentioned that in my book in length, how like play by play, how like how hot it was
in this book, right?
Ridiculous, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
LED TV kids, don't do it.
No, do it.
You know, it's funny you say that because we're about to start a reality show.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
No. But you know what? I'm not going to be lazy. So, and it's not about rock bands. So that's probably even better. So, because I don't know enough about that, even though I always dreamed to be in one. But I can't sing or play an instrument, so it'd be pointless. So you toured in 2012 overseas.
Yeah.
To Spain, Germany, France, and the Netherlands. How many times have you guys toured overseas?
6 times since 2007.
Since 2007.
Yeah, Tone's got the number down.
So
I can't remember.
What's your favorite country to perform in?
Spain.
Spain. Why is that?
Spain rules. They're such a rock and roll country. It was so fun being over there. Our tour was penultimately, you know, like 15 shows in Spain, a couple in France, a couple in Germany, and maybe 1 or 2 in Italy. So it was, you know, all, you know, around, you know, Barcelona, Madrid, all the these little villages and cities. And that was the beautiful thing because, you know, Detroit rock and roll is a luxury that they don't necessarily have, you know. It's very dance music oriented over there. They had some cool rock bands and whatnot, but they didn't have a scene like Detroit has a scene where you can go see awesome rock bands all the time. You know, you don't realize that until you get overseas, and it's like, and wow, we're like
streamlined,
you know, unicorns
form.
over here. So that, you know, we might as well been the Black Keys over there. You know, in Detroit, you know, I'm back to being a bartender and whatnot. We go over to Spain, and all of a sudden, you know, getting pictures taken.
Well, that's probably your
signatures,
Spotify.
Autographs. It was just nuts.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. We have a huge European contingent,
you know,
which
funny.
is wonderful, which we'd love to get back.
Because we have a big one too. Actually, 30% of our 100,000 subscribers come from Europe.
That's great.
Hey, man, they get it.
The Middle East.
If Javi's watching, Javi, the White Russian.
Javi.
Man, thanks for putting us up.
And you guys just recently toured, right?
Recently, and far as 2018.
2018 was the last one.
COVID, we were all set to tour in 2020, November 2020, but then everyone knows
we were booked and everything, and then all of a sudden
happened, and it really, you know,
took the wind out of our sails.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now we're just getting back,
for lack of a better
our
term,
sea legs. Like now, 2025. We're recommitted, and we're hoping for good things in 2026.
Let me go back 2 years, because one thing stood out to me in 2010. A&E's Gene Simmons' Family Jewels featured one of your songs.
Yeah, that was fun.
That is pretty amazing to me, which even adds credence, Scott, to them playing that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So what is it like when, and it's, because a lot of people watching, a lot of, you know, we would not know how that feels to find out that one of your songs is being used in something so popular as Family Jewels or in a movie like The Purge, stuff like that. Tell me, start with you, Tony. Tell me what that feeling is when you first get that notification that your song is going to be.
It's very.
Or they want it
it's
for
very
you.
humbling because there are so many friends and musicians in Detroit that are so deserving of that
Right.
very thing, and so it's humbling, but it's also kind of cool. It's kind of like, all right, we can. And I've always known that the Mugs have been somewhat special, and we can hang with anyone in the world, and that just proves it.
That does prove it. Danny?
I think it's fascinating and super cool. When I heard we were going to be in The Purge, I was front row center. I went and saw the movie all by myself just to see it.
It's a horror film.
For all, how many seconds? 7 seconds that they played?
4 seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still there.
It was hilarious.
It was 4
seconds.
Yeah, 4 seconds of these kids rocking out on this.
On this trestle on the night before the apocalypse of The Purge going to start. They're all like getting their jam out there.
Never know why.
Yes,
I love that.
It was so hilarious. And plus, we got our name in the credits at the end.
Right.
I had to sit for the credits, like, wow, there we are, right there.
The
Mugs.
Yeah, and the song that they
exactly.
use.
That fleeting moment, but I loved it. It's super cool and hilarious.
At the end of the day, we're the most basic bitch guys that just sitting at the bar,
right,
talking to people. We're no more special than you or anyone else. We're
not
rock stars.
I get it.
We just like to, write music and
it's funny.
And
Jack White came in the store, and we were talking to him a couple months ago, and he said the same thing. He said he said very similar. He said, "I'm just guy next door who writes music."
I love that. That's what I love about Jack. He's so talented, and but he's also approachable and just is happy to be
completely.
Where he's at.
He was here with his 2 kids and his new wife.
Wow,
that's
great.
That's
awesome.
It
was pretty cool. But he said the same thing, and I think it's funny because I've worked in the music industry for a long time, and prior to this, and the amount of people I do run into, they're you and I, and a lot of people who watch, they don't realize that they're just people.
I know.
Yeah,
they're just people.
When you listen to people on you listen to your favorite bands and whatnot, you kind of like put them in this aura and this, this ether. But ultimately, for the most part, we're just regular working class people who are just trying to make the best music that we possibly can.
Danny and I have been going out to see music since we were 20 years old. It didn't we were nobodies back then, but we loved seeing live music and supporting the community. And we're no different than we were back then. And we're still looking for the best band in Detroit. And oh my God, if you can make it out of this city and spread your wings and fly, that's great.
I think so too.
I hate to age any of us, but I feel that we're all pretty much kind of in the same age. I played in bands.
I'm older than all of you.
But I'm sure there was a time, not in the Mugs, but bands previously you guys were in where the only way to record would have been analog. I'm sure you guys recorded at a time there were no Pro Tools, there were not computers to use.
Oh yeah, the 4-track. Yeah,
be it 4-track or 24-track or
the
actual studio thing, but actually cutting the tape. Did you guys find that better? And through the years, have you been able to record anything analog, or is it just easier nowadays to just do it in Pro Tools and
With Adam, do we record a tape?
No, we recorded digitally.
Okay.
It's just easier.
It's expensive to record analog.
I mean, you can be a purist.
It is expensive.
Unfortunately, we're always up against it. We don't have the budget that some of these bigger bands do. To have the luxury, and we could do that, and maybe in the future we will do that. But we've always been digital, and with Dude and with the Hourlies, all the bands in currently that are original rock bands. But it's the cost of doing business. It's more efficient, and you can apply. It's just crazy that you can apply those filters and make it sound whatever you are.
Yeah.
So, is there a studio you guys record in locally that you prefer, or what's a what studios do you guys usually?
Well, I love what Adam Cox's place. What's it called?
Yeah, it's Hamtramck Sound.
Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking
The
about.
Sound Studios
Mhm.
on Joseph Campo. And with Dude,
That's a great studio.
I'm using Mindvine Studios in Hazel Park, Carl Condrat.
Okay.
And he's just been amazing. He recorded Autobiography, Dude's second album, and we're tracking and producing our third album as we speak.
For Dude?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And even if it's
Dude.
digital, I'm sure you guys are, the coolest thing in the recording process, I think, is that using vintage microphones, vintage guitars, and, all that stuff.
Vintage guitar
makes
pedals.
Danny just
amps,
recorded some solos for Dude, actually.
I was going to ask, are you both in Dude?
No, well,
No, I just guessed it on one.
MUGGS is,
a couple of
guessed it on one.
tracks.
MUGGS is Danny's project,
Right.
And Dude is my project.
Okay, and what about the other one? So what?
The Hourlies,
Hourlies.
Ben Kay and Chris Tomko, that's their songwriting project. And
Okay,
I'm the
and
bass
then
player.
you're the bass
Yeah.
player for them.
But those
So
are
you
the
got a lot
three
going
original
on.
bands.
Oh, Tone's all over the place.
That's
Not to
awesome.
mention my two tribute bands. Not to mention Peter Green Fleetwood Mac tribute band called Rattlesnake Shake.
Okay, well, Fleetwood
that Danny and
Mac.
I have been in for 26 years.
Really?
Wow.
That's our oldest tenured band. And then Ween tribute band.
Ween tribute. Yeah.
With Paul Mazzaracca, the former owner
Just
of
know that
Couch
Cafe.
when you go to see that tribute band, you're not going to hear Landslide or
No, you know Peter Green.
Well,
Yeah, you're gonna hear Green Man Alicia. You're gonna hear Black
Right.
Magic Woman.
I love,
Oh well.
and I'm really just in the last 10 years got really big on the Bob Welch era. To me is really
Oh, that is a cool
great, too.
era.
Yeah.
Like the little intro.
Very cool.
I like his version of Sentimental Lady with Fleetwood Mac more than I do when he
Me
went
too.
solo.
Yeah.
It's just more interesting.
Yeah, it's really good.
He kind of trimmed the fat, and I didn't like it was better the Fleetwood Mac version.
Yeah, he's good.
I love that because I love Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah.
I love everything Fleetwood
Legend.
Mac.
Oh, what
luckiest,
about
luckiest drummer and bass player in the history of rock and roll.
any thoughts on Bob Weir? Are you guys big like Grateful Dead guys? Or?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am particularly. I'm not a quote unquote Deadhead.
No, my sister is.
But the Grateful Dead are one of the greatest bands of all time, and I have to, being a rock and roller, I have to defend them to a lot of my rock and roll friends. Like, oh, the Grateful Dead, those, because they just they see the kids in the tie dyes dancing. So
the good thing about them, it's a hard line. Either you are a fan of theirs or you really detest it.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I never understood the argument. Oh, they just suck at their instruments. What?
So I got to tell
great musicians, great songwriting. It's
when
just no way around.
Garcia died, I was living in San Francisco, and I was working for Warehouse Music as a what was I doing at that time? A promoter, maybe. And they shut all the lights off in San Francisco for him. Wow. But the Earth Day Festival was happening that weekend, just so happened, and he was scheduled to be there. And the Earth Day Festival is the big festival where at the Embarcadero with the stage, and there's like 5,000 people there, or 50,000 people, who knows. But they did, every single person who came out and performed a tribute to.
Wow, that's cool.
And they changed all the way their lineups. Even Bette Midler got up there and she started singing. I mean, it was one of the best experiences I ever had. It was the first time I ever smoked pot out of an apple too.
What better place to have a first like that?
Out of an apple. They were passing it by and I said, oh, sure.
When in Rome.
Right? My mom's probably falling over because she's watching.
Sorry, Mom.
San Francisco.
But you have to have fun. You know what I mean?
The smoky apple.
Exactly. Exactly. And, during those Earth Day festivals, let me tell you, although I'm going to tell you we were up front, and I will never do that again, because when you turn around and look, what if something happened? You would not get out of there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there was a sea of people, and I thought to myself, I'm going to die right here.
Better
If something
to have your blinders on and enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
It went away quickly. So, how many Detroit Music Awards have you guys won, do you think?
We're speculating around 10 or 11.
10
I
or
think,
11.
Over possibly
the
12.
time that it was out.
Yeah, we've been very lucky in the support from the local music community, and when we put a record out, it's nice that it gets submitted into the in the categories, and and we've won some really interesting ones. You know, best rock band, best Tone one's got best bass player. Our drummer Todd's got best drummer. I was lucked out to get best instrumentalist, Rock and Smiths a couple of times. Rock songwriter, my favorite one. That's just right in the middle. Like, wow! At one time in my life, and this was 7 years ago, there's, you know, it's Detroit. You know, it's not like the Grammys or anything like that, but to us, it's our Grammys.
I was gonna say
it's absolutely fantastic.
Right.
You know, it's nothing that at the Thanksgiving table I could put it out there and grandma and grandpa aren't going to give a crap. They're like, oh, your little
they'll be proud
award.
of you.
To me, it's everything.
Put it in the middle of the table.
I would have too. It would have been the centerpiece.
Put it right in the mashed potatoes. Splash.
Don't touch it.
So we're gonna.
Grandma.
I know, right? Why don't we throw it to Down Below? I've got a clip here for Down Below, and we'll talk.
I won't let it go without a fight. This sense you make makes you want to explode. You're barely in the know. When you're searching for a complex code, you leave it down below. You don't decide your heavy load. You talk to break before you go. When it's time to face the odds you need to own, you'll be the first to know. The team of mine is always in for a spell.
Talking to Tony about Darren McCarty is a huge Muggs fan.
Well, yeah.
That is
Red
awesome.
He's a musician too. I mean, he was in a band.
Grinder.
Yeah.
We used to
Grinder.
record in the same or rehearse in the same
right, yeah.
studios downtown, but
I was
never
in
got to see him.
Eastern Market
Uh-huh.
selling my book, and I was next to a table where Darren McCarty and I think his name was Dominic. Dominic writes these graphic novels, and he put Darren McCarty into
One
as
of
a
the
character.
graphic.
Yeah. And you know, I gave him a Muggs T-shirt, and like he's like we're like buds, you know?
Right. That's awesome.
And, yes, I just saw him on a Sam Bernstein.
He probably
commercial.
shared one of your songs, and there went your Spotify.
Yeah, probably.
We're
You know.
intertwining all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Darren, come on the show,
You know,
and I'll
he-
bring Tony on, and you guys can chat.
He's a great guy, man.
That is
Always
awesome.
is that guy.
So
That
tell
was my
me,
era of Red Wings, too.
and for those of you who don't
Right.
know, Darren McCarty, if you're not a sports fan or a hockey fan, or been living under a rock for the last 50 years, he's a hockey player. So
4 Stanley Cups.
Four
he's won.
Stanley Cups.
Can I tell this
Yeah,
story real quick?
please.
Okay, so pivoting from Red Wings to the Tigers,
Uh-huh.
Kirk Gibson.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're I'm hanging out at a place called Alvin's on Cass Avenue,
Right.
right in Wayne State area.
Yep.
And I
New,
have
is
my
it called
dad,
Newtown?
who is
New
from
Center?
like Southern Cal, with his girlfriend. We're just hanging out. We're seeing Jimmy McCarty, who is Jimmy McCarty from
No
Mitch Ryder
relation.
and the
Yeah.
Wheels. Yeah, no relation to Darren,
Yeah.
but Mitch Ryder and the Wheels and Cactus and the Rockets. And as it turns out, Jimmy and my father grew up together.
Oh.
So whenever Dad would come into town, he'd say, "Take me to a Jimmy show." And so we're at Alvin's. It happens to be that Kirk Gibson is in the crowd.
Ah,
So Alvin's, like, you have to walk upstairs to go to the men's bathroom.
right.
And he's Kirk Gibson is halfway up the stairs, and my dad and his girlfriend Julie and I are talking, and he says, "Hey, Muggs,
Wow.
fucking love you guys."
Wow.
See,
And
look
then
at that.
he just walks up the stairs and goes in the bathroom.
Wow.
I'm like, Dad, did you
I
see
love
this?
that.
Because like you'd think I was lying like a rug if no one else was there. So I have my dad to verify it and Julie to verify that story.
That is awesome.
That's the coolest thing. Kirk Gibson, like
I can't.
what a
Yeah.
hero, man.
Oh yeah.
I grew up watching the '84 Tigers,
Right.
like when they won the World Series.
I actually saw one of those games.
I mean,
saw the
cool
one in
that he
San
would be at
Diego.
Elvin's. I
was
was
a-
just that.
Yeah, he was,
No,
he
you
was a
cannot.
cool cat. He's a rock and roll guy.
Nikki was born that year.
So
She was.
that's a wonderful story that I love sharing.
That is a
because
wonderful story.
It makes me like I'm filled with joy that me and Danny, who knew each other since 13, decided to form a rock band. Have
What
such
were we
a reach.
thinking?
Yeah,
That is awesome.
you know, and affected so many people. Yeah.
Tell me about Down Below, the clip we just saw.
Oh, about the song?
Yeah.
Or, it's a fascinating little song written about a buddy of mine who we would argue about, guitar players, who was a better guitar player. And we would just come to an absolute impasse on, I thought he was wrong. He thought I was wrong. And it just kind of showed up in a capacity lyrically. And the riff I really liked was just, it's kind of like a James Gang type of, it's almost grungy, like a I'm sure the Kurt Cobain and that whole,
That's the first thing
those
I thought of.
big fat riffs. So those, just kind of coalesced together and, just seemed like another song that I was writing. But over the years, it kind of just turned into like a song that, people, gravitate towards. So I'm really proud of that. You never know what song someone's going to gravitate towards, and Down Below is one of them, which
That
I'm
is
thankful
awesome. Now I have a question for the two of you. Danny first. Who would you say is your biggest influence
for. Ooh, biggest influence
in your writing?
Oh God, well, the Beatles.
The Beatles?
Yeah, ultimately everything. Why I wanted to become a musician was, they're the greatest band of all time. They're my favorite band of all time. And even though with the MUGGS, Humble Pie was the band that I wanted, and, Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, the James Gang, Mountain, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, all those bands had a huge influence on me wanting to be a blues rock player.
Right.
But as far as songwriting goes, the Beatles were the band that I try to
you
take
started.
a riff and still do a Beatles thing with it if I can or can. So ultimately, it's the Beatles.
You don't think of it as blues rock, but you just mentioned when I think of they get lumped into metal, but one of the greatest blues rock guitar players and the founder of heavy metal is Tony Iommi.
Amen.
Oh, yeah. I know who that is.
Like the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest riff writer of all time.
Yep. I have several, but Tony Iommi's in my top 5.
Your guys' music as well, so that's awesome.
Oh, right on. That's a great comment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Tony?
Oh, geez, I'm more eclectic. Let's start with the Beatles.
The Beatles.
And then the Beach Boys.
Oh, I see. I love the Beach Boys.
Danny, and I make no secret about this. Danny and Miz made me cool. I was still listening to Belle Biv DeVoe at 50 years old. And Nina Cherry, Buffalo Stance.
Oh my God, I remember that song.
Well, that was a tough one.
Your songwriting.
Yeah,
but I grew up with a healthy dose of the right bands, like Rubber Soul at 5 years old, Beach Boys, Queen.
Yeah.
My mom was dating a photographer that was like doing this Queen photo shoot.
We're closed. Somebody just walked in. Can you believe that?
Oh, you just missed out on a sale.
I must not have.
Well,
No.
listen, when
We're
the
never-
Bucks are here,
We're
they're
never
gonna-
open
Yeah.
this way.
I mean, what do you
See,
want?
we have
Wait,
fans
we have
banging down
CDs
the
for
door.
sale.
We have fans
I
banging
saw
down the
Cinco
door.
handy humidor, like, sir, $5, $4.
I know we've never been open this way. So
$2.
I love that you both find the Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatles. But the Queen and even Neil Diamond was
Yeah.
influential in my like impressionable 7 to 11. Growing up.
I love Neil Diamond.
I didn't discover the quote unquote cool bands until Danny and Miz hit me to them, like your Led Zeppelins and your Rolling Stones. And, so with dude songwriting, I take a little bit of everything. I love writing ballads. My dad introduced me to like doo-wop bands like the Flamingos and the
Yeah.
Coasters. So I write ballads, I write country western, I write what I would want to be rockers, but they're like, you know,
Right.
watered down rockers compared to this guy, you know. But you know, I just
you know what, I love that, and I say that
I just write what's in my heart, and
exactly.
you know, I don't care.
And you love what's in your heart when
Yep.
it comes to music, because growing up in the '80s, being a teenager in the '80s, it was very cliquey. You stayed within your genre. You didn't share your genres. You know what I mean? You didn't switch genres. And to me, and I used to get in a lot of trouble with friends because I'd be like listening to Motley Crue, even though my friends were all Thompson Twins and Duran Duran and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd squeeze in a you know, a Queen, you know, something like that, because music to me is, my genre is what I like.
Agreed.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Because one day I'll listen to Dolly Parton, and the next day I might listen to hardcore techno.
I'll never forget.
You know what I mean?
Walking home from school, my best friend Lance, my brother Frank, my older brother Frank, and I would walk home from school, and Lance's mom would be in the kitchen talking with my mom, both freshly divorcees,
Mm-hmm.
you know, sipping their coffee and talking about life, and we would put on Queen, the game,
Mm-hmm.
and we would pick up tennis rackets
Mm-hmm.
and spoons, and we were the band.
That is awesome.
That was my first introduction to music, or trying to be like just emulating like something that I love to do,
That
or,
is awesome.
or love to hear.
So I think that's great, and I love the fact that kids come in today and you'll look at them and you know, you don't read a book by their cover, because they might be dressed in all goth clothes, but they're picking up Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something like that.
I just saw a song sung blue.
How was it?
Oh, it was amazing.
You know, the clothes came from Leah's Closet in Royal Oak.
No.
Yep, the red dress that Kate Hudson wears.
Wow.
That's from Leah's Closet in Royal Oak.
All right.
Shout out to you, Leah.
Shout out.
Metro Detroit.
I
Representing.
know that you had a rough time at one point, that
Yeah.
you had a stroke.
Yep.
And how did that affect your music playing? And when was that?
That was back in September of 2001.
2001.
And, you know, it just destroyed my everything.
Mhm.
I couldn't walk or talk, or like my whole right side was paralyzed,
Right.
and I had to learn how to do everything again, like an infant.
Mhm.
So I always joke around, I'm like 24 years old.
Hey, that's why you're 24 years old.
You know.
Yep.
But Danny stuck by me. He said, and this is just it is the most important thing that I can relate to you viewers, is he stuck by me, and he's like, no mugs without tone, not knowing that there'd ever be not knowing that I wouldn't die, because
Right.
it was that grave.
Uh-huh.
So that gave me all the strength I needed to like pull my bootstraps up and like every Detroiter get to fucking work.
And
so
all
I
of this
made good on
stuff
it.
came after that.
Exactly. And that's one of my most proudest things is it didn't have to be this way,
Right.
but because of the love of music and
Yep.
of friendship,
It's healing. Music.
It was very cathartic a process. And I discovered that I could play the bass, the bass guitar on a Fender Rhodes piano bass,
Right.
the left clef of a Fender Rhodes piano. And knowing me, it's either 110% kid or why do it?
Right.
So I took it seriously, and I had two things in front of me: physical rehab,
Mhm.
and music.
And music.
And, I think I've made good on both of those so far. I'm still fighting the good fight. And
I think that's fantastic. I mean, you have that in 2001, and then starting in 2004,
yeah, we're back, baby.
you back.
Yes.
And then, I mean,
So
you're getting
actually,
all of these,
2003,
or 2003.
that was the start of our
Right.
career, is 2000. But it was almost 2 years to the day that we so we played the Caju Cafe.
Mhm.
They call it the Muscle Beach Party. And 2 days later, I had a stroke. And then almost 2 years to the day, we were back at the Muscle Beach Party.
Uh-huh.
And doing
Our
it.
first gig back
Yeah,
at the same place, which was
scared to
bizarre.
It was so frightening.
I was
but-
scared to death too. It's like, oh, this is gonna work or it's gonna be pathetic.
It worked.
And
I can't believe it.
I have this philosophy.
We rolled the dice
Uh-huh.
and came up 7.
You know,
It could have been Snake Eyes.
And this goes like to anyone who's had a stroke or anyone who's afraid of anything. Like if you can boil it down to this, I was frightened to do this, but whatever you're frightened of, you should do.
Yeah,
like,
overcome.
You have to do because that's the only way we can grow as a human being.
It is.
And that was my philosophy. And I was like, oh, I look like a jerk, and I probably gonna be a hack. But I got my best friend like right beside me,
and you probably didn't look at anything like
drummer.
That because we're our worst enemies.
Because it's all in your head, kid.
Right.
So tune it out, and just this is your life, so go for it. And that's been my.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Me too.
And I'm sure, and
there's a whole lot more fun.
Yeah, right. There's thousands and thousands of people who are glad you did. 35,000 a month on Spotify. I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
You know.
Take that.
We're gonna listen. And he's been throwing up photos that you sent me, but we're gonna listen to the last clip in a minute. I am a firm believer that as we get older, we start wondering what our legacy is going to be, and we start thinking about what are we going to leave behind. I'm 55, and even at 50, I'm like, what is my legacy going to be? I have no kids, so you know what I mean. And can you believe the legacy you guys are leaving? Because music will go on forever. We still listen to music that was made in the 30s and 40s. Some people do. We listen to 60s, 60s, 70s,
and 40s music.
Yeah, I mean, we still listen to those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we still love those people, and we still they evoke emotion from us.
No, shoot, that reminds me of Mikey Hench's shows on WDET tonight from 8 to 9. And he does that. He plays like songs from the 40s and 50s,
right?
All these old commercials, and it's really cool.
It's funny because when I saw Bette Midler live in concert, she sang a bunch of doo-wop from the 50s. I was like, oh, okay. But they were good. I liked them, going to the chapel, all those types of things. But so this legacy, what is it you want to leave? What is your legacy that you want to leave? Are you doing it now, or is there something else that you want to achieve?
From my perspective, I feel like the MUGGS have achieved, exceeded the goals that I've had for this band.
Right.
Would I like us to, be like a touring band where we can play like Magic Bag size places across the United States? That's pretty much the be all end all to me.
Right.
I don't want, I don't want to be playing like super stadiums or, Super Bowls, goofy things like that. It's just a small, 400-person place where people know who you are, and they come in and respect the band and just kind of go out like that. And, so that's the only thing. Other than that, I'm completely proud with, how we've performed over the years, what we've written. I'm just so happy. Like, some health things happened to me in the past couple of years. Where it forces me to, rethink like, all right, Danny, where is your life? And I'm so happy these days thinking like, wow, if I'd have been taken in these medical maladies in the past couple of years, like I would be totally proud from where I'm at. Like, this is awesome. This is a great legacy to leave. Now it's just a matter of, all right,
putting the icing on it.
I'm still here. Let's just have some fun now. All these songs are there. Let's just, put together a great show. Whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
It's, I'm just like, wow, this is like a victory lap I'm on. The MUGGS are on. Just like, I'm enjoying it.
Same. And the MUGGS is one thing, and then the hourlies, I get to write bass lines, and that's icing on the cake, and then my own songwriting. And so I'm tracking and producing my third album.
Awesome.
Of Dude, that will be out in 2026 or 2027. But also, I'm an author now, and
yes, you are.
I'm kind of serious about it. So I'm going to be coming out. I'm going to be writing my second book, which is going to be Autobiography 2.
Okay.
Which is going to be a continuation of our stories, and then I've decided that I'm going to write some fiction.
Awesome.
So there's going to be a novel after I release Autobiography 2. I'm going to back it up with a novel.
That is awesome.
So I just decided that life is too short to not.
Right, and it's not like we have another chance to
chances.
take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
And I'm just stupid enough to pull it off.
And I think that's, and I'm glad you said that, because people look at me and go, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm stupid enough to pull it off." You know what I mean? I am.
Yeah.
But it's because I feel the same way. You know what I mean? I feel the same way. We have one life.
Yeah.
If you don't do everything you want to do now, it's not like you get to do it over.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I really want to throw myself at being a writer.
That's
I
awesome.
feel like somehow I can do this.
So we're going to listen to a clip. This is a live clip from Germany. What are we going to listen to before we get started? What is this?
This is cool. This is apparently, I think it's Doc Mode.
Yep, it is.
From Germany, which was a stoner rock festival. I'll tell you a quick Freak Valley Fest, and I'll tell you a quick story about this song. So it's a stoner rock fest. So we played later in the day. The 4 bands that went on before us were, just stoner rock,
right.
It's just, for 40 minutes, they never even brought the tempo up, because I was thinking the Mugs were going to come out with our stoner rock tunes to be in with it, and I said to Tone, screw it, we're coming out with Doc Mode, and we're going to wake this crowd up. That was my thinking at the time. We're going to come out like, just to be jerks from Detroit, and it worked. So that's why this clip is up, because everyone was kind of asleep until we went on. I don't want to say asleep, but stoner rock, after 6 hours of it, you're like, all right.
It's funny that you say that.
I had to wake myself up.
I put in,
and I love stoner
when
rock.
I did the clip, I took the audience from different perspectives and put them in 4, because they were going nuts. Because I'm like, look at this. Anyways, let's roll it real quick.
Ah, cool.
Over, I'm like, oh my God, you did this and you did that and you did this. I'm like, I mean, even a Michael Kors commercial.
Yeah, why not?
Why not, right? For the cologne, right?
Call us.
Yeah, for the cologne. So, I mean, the Mugs joined in 2022, the Mugs joined the $1 Million+ Club on Spotify.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty incredible.
I'm shocked that
2026
things
2
have happened
million
out of songs that we've
2
written.
million+.
I mean, it's small potatoes for some bands, but we're very proud of
You should be proud of that.
I was telling you before the show, this is all organic. We didn't hire any companies.
Right.
This is just us.
This is the people who like your music.
Yeah, and that's the best compliment. And it's fascinating. It really is.
Have you wrapped your head around it yet?
Our drummer Todd would always joke around and say, because I've been managing this band since 2005, just getting us out there,
Right.
And Todd would say, Tony finds all the cracks in the internet and stuffs them with the Mugs.
See, that's what what a great way to say that.
It's such a cool
that should be the front of one of your album covers. A bunch of
you put it in his head, he'll make it happen.
So how can we hear you? How can they hear you besides Spotify? Because we all know Spotify.
Well, we have a YouTube channel.
And that's just everything's under the Mugs.
Yeah, the Mugs, and then we have a Bandcamp.
How can they order hard stuff?
Well, you can always go through Bandcamp, but I would say that just email me directly at TonyMuggs@gmail.com.
TonyMuggs@gmail.com.
That's what I was-
And then you can order from me. And then,
Inundate him. I'll be his packing guy.
We got all the
I don't know how
money
to
instead
do it.
of like Bandcamp getting a slice of theirs, which is fine. But we're just fighting for our own.
Oh, yeah.
Like every other band.
So email him before you go to Bandcamp, even though you can go to Bandcamp, because then you want to get most of the money that goes to artists. Go to artists.
Yeah.
Even though Bandcamp does have its pluses, if you want all of your money to go to the artists, email.
Yeah, contact every band directly first.
Right.
Or then go to whatever.
Exactly. Whatever
Your
this.
own website or anything for merch?
No.
Just that?
No.
Okay.
It just it's like you can see us on Bandcamp or like Spotify or Apple Music, or like we're on all the streaming platforms.
You're also on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, like you said, probably huge YouTube. And I hope you get inundated. I hope he comes over to you and says, "Take care of this."
Actually, we're on TikTok.
You are on TikTok.
I just subscribed to TikTok, so I've been posting.
Awesome. Clips do really well on those.
Little minute clips with our songs and just Detroit centric.
Next thing you know, you're going to be huge in Japan and China.
So.
I'd love to go to Japan.
We're
Do
gonna
the
see another
Spinal
Right.
Tap
I know.
style.
Right? Have you seen the new Spinal Tap?
Yes,
What'd you think?
loved it.
I have not
It
watched
was,
it
it was
yet.
a
I need
fitting,
to.
and I
Fran
expected the
Drescher
worst,
in it?
and I thought it was fantastic.
Is Fran Drescher in it? She better be.
I think so.
I was going to say.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna spoil it, but yes.
Good, because she was in the original, and I loved her in that.
Yes, whoever's still alive is in it.
But-
so there is something to be said. How you said, you're not wanting to play like huge stadiums and stuff. Like, there's nothing better than a smaller, intimate venue, especially some of the Detroit.
The
ones.
intimate venues are
I've
where
seen
it's
my
at.
favorite band already go from St. Andrews to Pine Knob to 4-day metal festivals in Ohio, and Pine Knob is boring for them. You can't mosh, you can't get right down under the pit, you can't.
It's like a sterile
You just
environment to
stand there
see
and
a
nod
great
your head.
band.
And then they played a new album release at the Crowfoot for maybe
Mm-hmm.
2,000 people, and that was the best show. I
Yeah.
mean, where you're like right there
Agreed.
with everybody and going upstairs and shaking hands with them behind the sound booth, and you're like you said, like you're just there with the people that actually really love the music.
That's where it's at,
Small
right there.
Detroit venues are the best.
So let me
Amen.
tell you a little story I have about how I met Chrissy Hines once. Do you guys like Chrissy Hines?
I love Chrissy
Okay,
Hines.
so
I'm in love with Chrissy.
I
Hines.
love Chrissy Hines, right? So I worked at Warehouse Music in San Francisco for a long time, and my office was in the Flood Building downtown. And I got there really early one day for some reason. And, we have a homeless issue out there. So I was moving people from in front of the entrance. And I noticed this woman walking down the street. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. This woman walking down the street. And you could tell she was coming from somewhere that she was having a lot of fun. As she got closer, I'm like, I know who that is. Who is that? And she's getting closer and closer, and I'm like kind of staring at her. And she gets close enough to me, and I turned around and I went, Chrissy Hines? And she looks at me, and I just threw my arms around her. I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
That's
I'd be
awesome.
like, I'd be scared to death. I wouldn't even say anything.
I
I just
thought
watched
she
her
was
walk
going
by.
to slap
Like,
me.
oh my God, that's Chrissy Hines.
But I'm almost shaking. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I said, okay, I'll let you go now.
Two of my favorite songs are "Lovers of Today" and "Up the Neck." "Up the Neck" could be my all-time favorite. Like that's not even a hit, a radio hit, but I love that song. The bass player just.
I love everything she does.
Me too.
I mean, I like some things more, but
Yeah.
but that was one of the most shocking times I've ever met somebody famous. And of all people, I'm like, really?
Wow.
You've got to be older. You're doing a walk of shame? What are you doing?
I got to see.
She's going to listen and yell at me. No.
I got to see the Pretenders live. One of the greatest shows I ever saw. ZZ Top was the headliner. The Pretenders were second, and the Stray Cats.
Oh,
This was, I think it was at Meadowbrook. Or it was at
Love
or
me
Freedom
some
Hill,
Stray
one of the
Cats.
two. And nobody wanted
What
to
an
go with
odd
me. And
lineup.
I'm like, oh my God, those are three of the all-time awesome bands. And so to this day, that's the greatest 3-band bill I'll ever see.
So we're running over an hour, but that's okay because we're talking to the Mugs. If
He's talking about you.
What would you have to say as we wrap it up? What would you guys have to say to somebody who's just starting out in music? And I'll go with you first, Danny. Somebody is just starting out in music. they're doing the same type you like, the blues rock, or even just rock or whichever. What would advice you would give to somebody?
From my perspective, study, if you're like a blues rock, if you're a guitar player, study the great guitar players, the guitar players that influence you. And, not necessarily, like, don't just say like, oh, I could just, I can kind of play that lick, kind of sound like it. Learn intimately, the nuances to how they're playing it. Get your vibrato together, get your, the way you go across the neck. Because you can just say like, oh, I'm good enough, and that's where I'm still at. I'm still fighting the I want to get better as a guitar player, so I'm just dissecting these awesome solos and awesome guitar players, and with whatever instrument you play, whether you're a bass player and you like a certain bass player, get into the nuances, like try and play it exactly like them, and then bring your own personality to it.
Good advice.
That's kind
Good
of where
advice.
I would say.
Yeah.
Tony?
Just on a local level, just have fun.
Just have fun.
If you're sincere about the music that you're trying to write, if you're a decent songwriter, if you have fun with it, that translates to the crowd. So now the crowd is having fun. You're having fun. That's where like every band, like in my estimation, should be. Like just have fun. Expect nothing, and then if you gain some followers and like all of a sudden you're a big deal, then you've earned it the proper way. Just have fun.
And I worked in the music industry as a promoter and retail, and I mean that's what I did for the whole first 30 years of my life with Warner Electric Atlanta and different promotional companies and stuff and warehouse music. And the one thing I have to say is don't listen to your haters, because somebody will always not like you, and you can't let that get you down.
Yeah.
Blues rock isn't the most popular genre on the planet. In fact, it's
even
very,
if it was.
if you're gonna play blues rock, set your alarm clock.
Yeah.
That's an awesome joke that a buddy of mine told. So we do this because we love it.
Exactly.
We enjoy it and playing it. We know there's no particular future. If it was 1972, bam, we'd at least have some sort of career. But it's 2026, and we're trying to be Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and whatnot. We know what the stakes are, and that there's no place for us. But screw it, man. We're just enjoying what we're doing, and we're just going to keep doing it.
Exactly.
That's what you find people, though. The bands that love what they're doing, I've had more fun at shows that I didn't even know who they were before I went, and a friend had a ticket or said, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? You got to listen to these guys.
Right.
And the bands that have found their people versus the bands that are doing what's hot right now. And you know what? In music, everything comes back around anyway.
Yes,
it does.
You guys might
in life, everything comes back around.
You never know.
That would be wonderful if there's some kids that were 14 years old growing up listening to the MUGGS in 2005 are popular, and they have us on tour.
Yeah,
that would be
look
amazing.
Look at Greta Van Fleet. I mean, they're Michigan too, and they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
Like,
So Tony, Danny, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much. This has been a blast, actually.
Support your local vintage
and support your
this place is dynamite. You have to come down and check this place out.
Yeah,
it's my first time here, and I'm blown away.
We had a hard time getting you guys to sit down. They were looking at.
I know they were all wandering around, but I'm thankful, and I know I've known you for a while, Tony. But Danny, it's been great.
Thank you so much.
And maybe we'll have you on again.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah,
anytime.
Yep.
Roberto, Nikki.
And I'm going to tell you, Roberto's a huge music fan.
I could talk.
I can already
for 5 hours.
Yep.
Roberta and Nico.
Roberto. Yep.
Yeah, right.
So we have a whole lineup this the rest of this month and the beginning of next month.
Yeah.
Every show taken next week. We have Ray Smith the second from RS2 Studios, who is one of the premier pinup photographers in Metro Detroit. Then we have 3 of the pinup models coming. Lindy Lenore, Lana Lamore, and Shelly Galore. That's a mouthful.
Wow. Work.
Anyways,
Amazing.
these
That's
three.
masterful.
Thank you. These three girls are some of the top pinup models in Metro Detroit. You've probably seen them all over the place. And we're going to talk about everything pinup because the following week we have Brittany Baird. Did I say it correctly? Brittany Baird, who is owns She Wolf Fitness, and we're going to see if you guys kept to your resolutions or not. Because Brittany Baird, she is somebody who I would not want to meet in an alley. She would kick my butt just looking at me. She has won several awards for her muscle, her bodybuilding.
I just want to show you this.
Oh, look at this. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so
53, you never look so good.
Oh, we're the same age. Well, I'm 2 years older than you,
Okay,
actually.
53 never looks so bad.
So I know, same here. I'm still waiting for these. I've been pregnant with triplets for 9 years. Now I'm kidding. And then on the 3rd of February, we have Fanny Bruiser and Jen from Chick's Eye View Photography to talk about all of the upcoming pinup shows. And we will be announcing the new reality series that we will be filming and doing in coalition with Prime Video as well as with Vehicle City Vixen. So that is on the 3rd. Brittany Baird is on the 27th. And next week we have Ray and the models. So it's pretty stacked full of stuff.
Oh, hey, man, keep
and I'm
busy.
happy you guys were first because,
you
know, rock and roll always, we should have them in all of them.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, we have the Autorama coming up. We have just so much. I'm telling you, I know how it feels to be overly done.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thank you again so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
And where are we going to see you anytime soon? Somewhere? Caju Cafe, maybe?
Or Old Miami in May with this band called Winds on Neptune on the books.
Okay.
And we're talking to a booking agent, and hopefully we're going to be out of town doing some meaningful U.S. Tour dates in March and April. But that's to be
yeah, nothing concrete for the moment.
How can they see where you're going? Instagram?
Yeah, I'll post everything. I post everything on Instagram and Facebook.
And Facebook.
And TikTok.
Okay. And TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, so watch their social medias to see where you can see them. They have that coming up. What did you say it was?
Old Miami in
Miami
May, I think.
in May. But you may pop up at the Caju Cafe again. You never know.
Oh yeah, there'll be some stuff coming.
There'll be some stuff for that.
Have it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
keep an eye out for it. And if you need an album, you can either come here and pick it up, or you can
come here and pick it up.
Yeah.
But if you don't live anywhere near us, you can always email
TonyMuggs@gmail.com,
and they will send it out to you. So again, thank you so much. And Nikki, I know you weren't on here. Any last words?
No, this was great. I'm going to continue my Spotify journey on the way home.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roberto, without going into it because of your music, you can just talk and talk and talk. Anything?
No, it's just great to talk. I love talking. You know, my favorite genre of music is 70s old school rock and roll. That's my favorite. So I can sit and talk about that forever. But,
well, let's talk after the show.
Absolutely.
There you go. And we will see you guys next week, next Tuesday with I'm not going to go through their names again, with the pinup models. And I could, though. The